Hey everybody, this is Mrs. Hill, and I'm going to go over some math operations with numbers that are in scientific notation. Alright, so the first rules. Whenever you're adding and subtracting with numbers that are in scientific notation, the exponents have to be the same, okay? And how this is going to work is the numbers at the start, those will always follow the operation that is given. So the 2.3 and the 6.9 will be added, and that will give us 9.2. Make that a little thicker. 9.2. And because the exponents are the same that means that the scientific notation just carries down. Okay. The same thing follows for subtraction. The first numbers get subtracted as they normally would, and that will give us negative 3.42. And because the exponents are the same, the remaining part is also the same. Okay. You guys can also always double check your answers by taking numbers out of scientific notation, performing the same math operation, and then putting your final answer back into scientific notation. Now, sometimes the exponents are not going to be the same because we don't live in a perfect world, do we? So what you do in that case is two options. You could take both numbers completely out of scientific notation into standard notation, perform the math, and then put your final answer back into scientific notation. Or you can just match the numbers so that both of them do have the same exponent. And what you would have to do is take one of the numbers out of proper scientific notation. So for this example, I am going to take the 8.111 out of proper scientific notation, and that will give me 0.08111. Actually, I'm going to write this over here a little smaller so it lines up. And by moving the decimal place over 2 spots to the left, that changed my -1 exponent to a +1. All right, now I can perform my subtraction, and that will give me 1.86789 times 10 to the first. But we have to follow the same rules as we have been with sig figs. So the cutoff will be 3 spots behind the decimal. The 0.08111 does not line up perfectly. That rounds up. We have 1.868 times 10 to the first. All right, so make sure those exponents match, or again, you can always take numbers out of scientific notation and then perform the math. For multiplying and dividing, there are rules for each of these ones individually. The first numbers, just like subtraction and addition, will always perform whatever operation is there. So for these ones, you'll have the 1.4 times 7.42. That will give you 1.038. Oh, sorry. That will not give you that. That will give you 10.388. And what you do with the exponents, you do not have to match them up. That's doing more work than what you need to. When numbers are being multiplied, the exponents get added to each other. So again, the first numbers will still be multiplied as instructed, but the exponents will be added for multiplication. So this will be times 10 to the 9th. And you always have to make sure that your final answer is in proper scientific notation. So we need to move that 1 decimal place over, which gives us 1.00 times 10 to the 10th. And 1.0 gives us the correct number of sig figs as well. Now for division, these first numbers, oops, that's multiplication. Let's jump ahead to division. So when you are performing these ones, these numbers again will be divided as usual. And when you divide 4.5 by 9, you get 0.5. However, instead of adding these exponents, we are going to subtract them. So this would be 0.5 times 10 to the 6th. And just like the last one, we have to make sure this is in proper scientific notation. So we got to move the decimal place over 1 spot to the right, which gives us 5 times 10 to the 5th. All right, let me know if you guys have any questions.